Hey everybody, it is Friday the 23rd of October and welcome to another Friday live lunch from ADHD Unlocked. I am not joined by Steph today because she's got her daughter off on half term. So today it's just me and we are going to be talking about the topic that we've been doing all week, which is exercise and moving it this week, which is a subject which is quite close to my heart personally, because as with many ADHDers, I tend to have been an all or nothing kind of person with exercise. So there's been times in my life where I've gone to the gym every day or ran for 45 minutes every day or done exercise every single day. And then there's other times when I haven't maybe even done any exercise properly or regularly for maybe, I don't know, 9 months, 6 to 9 months. And then I go through phases. So we tend to be quite all or nothing, but it's so important for us with ADHD to get proper movement and to get proper exercise into our lives. And I didn't quite realize until I was doing the research for this week quite how important exercise is and how much better it'll make you feel. So one of the most important things we can do for our ADHD, to treat our ADHD, is to move and to exercise. And I've been reading the data and the statistics, and basically it is as important, nearly as important as our ADHD medication. So it can kind of almost double the kind of way the effects of the medication, if you like, in terms of the effects that it has on the brain. So it provokes many of the changes, the same neurochemicals, so dopamine, norepinephrine, all the endorphins that we need, and brain structures that ADHD medications have that effect on our brain. So it's highly important. So what I'd like you all to start doing is to consider treating exercise as a priority rather than something that you just have to squeeze into the rest of your day. And we're quite poor at time management and we get behind on stuff. So maybe exercise gets pushed back, but what we really need to start doing is prioritizing exercise and making sure it happens before anything else. The other change that I'd like you to consider, which may help, and I'm going to give you some more tips if you're kind of exercise averse in a minute. And basically that is to treat exercise as if it's not to lose weight or for your physical health, because I used to think, oh, well, I need it to keep fit and healthy and toned for my heart health. When I started viewing my exercise as a prescription for my brain and my brain health, my mental well-being, my ADHD, the game changed for me. So that's really important that you look at it as a prescription for your brain rather than just to keep physically healthy, although that is really important. And as Britt's just said in the chat, she's just back from 2 exercise classes. So we're glad that this week is having an effect and you feel really good. Of course you do. And this is the thing. After you've done it, you feel really good. But when we feel low, it is really difficult to get ourselves motivated to do it. So one of the tips and tricks that I will give you, and something that I've employed this year, which has worked really well to get me doing my exercise daily now, is instead of thinking I need to put my kit on and I need to go to the gym, or I need to put my running gear on and I need to run for maybe 45 minutes and do something properly, otherwise it's not worth doing. If you don't have time, just say, I'm only going to do 5 minutes. I'm literally only going to do 5 minutes. And every morning I do my yoga app, which is brilliant. And most days I do 15 minutes, which is great, which sets me up for the day. And then I just do 5 minutes if I don't have the time. So if some mornings, if I'm feeling in a real rush, I go, look, I absolutely have to fit this yoga in, even if I'm running late, I'll just do 5 minutes. So that's another tip, basically, to try and get you out of the mindset of, I must do a whole hour or I must go to the gym. Just get yourself moving. Just get yourself moving and kind of fit extra bits of exercise in throughout the day. And as Stephen has just said in the chat, you've been walking outside in a country park. Now, the other tip that I wanted to give you, I do half an hour's walking every day out in green, outside, out in nature. that also makes a massive, massive difference to us with ADHD, being outside in the green. There's no excuse, even though winter is coming, and not in a Game of Thrones kind of way, but winter is coming. Get yourself set up for success on getting outside and being in nature. So I have my waterproof trousers and my ski jacket and my wellies in the porch. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse for not going out for your walk. So get yourself ready for exercise, get yourself ready for walking outside. And I know it's sometimes you just look at the weather and it's raining here today in North Yorkshire and you just think, oh, can I be bothered? But when you actually get out there and get back, you feel absolutely great. So the other thing you can do in terms of preparation for moving and exercising is that you could act as if. And some days I felt I really, really don't want to do my yoga today. I feel stiff, I feel a bit achy, I don't feel too well, blah, 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 blah. Put your yoga gear on. I put my, because sometimes to do it in a t-shirt, but sometimes I put my proper yoga vest on and my yoga trousers, and then I feel more like doing it. You could do that with your exercise gear. You know, put some leggings on, put some trainers on, put a fitness top on, act as if, you know, stand as if you're on the starting line at the Olympics for the 100 meters, you know, start sort of pulling your legs up and stretching your hamstrings and act as if. And that kind of mentality really, really helps you get into that mindset, even if you really don't feel like it. It's a bit like the pencil trick to be happy. You're fooling your body. And for those of you that don't know, you hold a pencil or a pen between your teeth without it touching your lips for 30 seconds and it would instantly make you feel happier, because it fools the brain into think you've been really smiling, and it has a positive feedback mechanism. So I've been trying that with exercise, like acting as if and fooling my body and pretending that I am really fit, healthy and you know, flexible. And that does help me, and it's kind of quite amusing to my brain. So that's another thing that we need to do with ADHD if we do struggle to exercise, is that we need to have a bit of variety, and we need to have something to keep our interest, to keep us engaged with exercise. I know that if I had a treadmill here in my spare bedroom stroke office, and I had to look at the same piece of wall every day and do the 30 minutes, it would just kill me with boredom. So I can't do that. But if I had music on, if I was watching telly, or if I was catching up with a podcast, I could do that. I could absolutely do that. But I couldn't, you know, resign myself to do the same thing every day. So Joanna has just said in the chat, and I was just about to get onto this, so this is great. Any ideas for simple exercise to do for someone who currently finds it overwhelming to even consider doing anything? Absolutely. And I've been in this place where, you know, you've been low, and when you are depressed, it's really, really difficult to kind of get yourself out of that mindset because you feel tired. So some of the things you can do, you can even do exercises on the couch. So if you Google exercises on the couch, and I'll share some resources later, you can even do things like simple stretches, arm waves, just kind of push-ups, those kind of things. I quite like doing that. So there's exercises from the couch. There's even exercises that you can do from your bed. And I don't mean that sort of exercise, although sex will be really good as an exercise and a way to get moving and to get those neurotransmitters flowing. However, if you're just lying in bed, you can do some simple stretches. You can do some bridges and hip raises, some kind of crunches and leg raises, and those scissor kicks that you can do, and kind of those cat stretches that you can do just in bed. So there really is no excuse to get to start to build that simple movement and build that up. So here's some of my other tips and tricks, which I'll kind of just sort of rush through really quickly. Do anything for 5 minutes. Do literally anything. So just put a song on and dance. Even if you just think, I'm just going to put one of my favorite songs on and I'm just going to move a little tiny bit. So that's something else you could do. Just think, oh, I'm just going to do 5 minutes of some stretches or a 5-minute walk. That's all that you need to do, is just go, I'm just going to do 5 minutes, and even set a timer for doing this. And Joanna, you've just said the idea is to combat, if it's not proper exercise, there's no point. because I used to be in that mindset and I used to have that issue, as I've just mentioned. But what I'm finding is I'm more motivated to do more movement if I'm sneaking little bits, and it's getting into that habit. The other thing that I do is I stack a bit of exercise and movement in with things that I generally do every day. So I do leg raises when I'm brushing my teeth. So electric toothbrush, 2 minutes, and I kind of do my leg raises up on the balls of my feet as I'm doing it. So that really helps. Also, I sometimes whilst the kettle boils is one of my favourite tips and tricks for sneaking some exercise in. You can do some push-ups on the worktop while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. You can do a wall sit where you kind of lean your back against the wall and you have your thighs parallel to the floor and your shins kind of straight up, so you're kind of sitting with your back to the wall for 30 seconds. You can do those kind of things. You can do those arm circles while you're waiting. Hold your arms out, stretch your arms out. You can even do that at your desk. So it's sneaking in little bits of exercise while you're waiting for things that normally happen in your life, while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, whilst you're at the bus stop. You know, you could be doing some glute exercises and doing those squeezes and all that kind of thing. But it makes a massive difference, even sneaking in these little bits of exercise, and then you're more motivated to do more. So another thing that I do is I use a habit methodology, which was popularized by the comedian Jerry Seinfeld in America. And he used it for writing his comedy. And he crossed off every day that he did his comedy writing. So I kind of erased mine so that I could show you. So every day I track when I've done my gratitude diary. Now, gratitude also really helps with exercise, and it's been proven scientifically that if you practice gratitude, you're more likely to exercise. Grateful people, even if you're writing down 3 things a day that you're grateful for. So I'm grateful for the beautiful magpie that landed on my lawn. I'm grateful for Yorkshire tea. I'm grateful for cuddles with my daughter. Even that mindset makes you more likely to exercise. So I cross off every day when I've done my yoga, my gratitude, and my green time on this planner. And I don't like to see a break. I don't like to see a break in the crosses. So that really helps me. But it may kind of play into some people's fear of failure to do that. But if it works for you, do that. The other thing to do is to make exercise playful. So if you do live with other people, you could go kick a ball around the fields, you could play catch, all that kind of thing. You could do some kind of dancing game at home. Musical statues is quite good fun, musical bumps, that kind of thing. Just make it playful. Another thing you could do is, if you are sat at a desk, is get up every hour and set an alarm and make sure that I know it's difficult when we do manage to get that focus and we are on a kind of on that stream of hyper focus and we don't want to break it because we're finally concentrating on the task at our desk that we need to do. Please make sure that you get up every hour, because that will really help you as well. So one of my favorite things to do, which is one of the tips that I want to finish on, is just to put a song on and just dance like nobody's watching. Literally dance like nobody's watching. One of my favorite parts of the film Love Actually is Hugh Grant's character when he plays the Prime Minister, and he puts that song on and he thinks nobody's watching and he's just dancing around ridiculously. So one of the best things you can do is to dance like nobody is watching, with complete abandon. And what that also does is it kind of puts you into a really confident mindset and a silly mindset and a positive mindset. And it's made a massive difference to me, and I make sure I do this every single day now as well. If I'm feeling a bit low, I kind of just put a song on, one of my favorite songs, and it really uplifts me. So there's loads of things we can do if we hate exercise, just to get us moving more. So as I say, I don't do much. I do half an hour's walking a day and 15 minutes of yoga. And actually, if you'd have said that to me a year ago, that's what you'd be doing, that would have seemed like a lot, but I've built it up and I've got into that mindset, and now it's easy and now it's a habit. So this is what we need to do. But It's been great fun this week to share with you all our movement stuff, and we are going to do a bit of dancing now at the end. But I just wanted to remind you, for those of you that aren't yet members of the ADHD Unlocked community, we do still have our special offer on, and it's up to 50% off, and it's really, really low cost for what you get. We get our procrastination buster sessions, our support meetings online, get the Facebook group, you get all of the webinars throughout the week that are all recorded and on our members portal, all organised by subject. So now we've got, 18 weeks, we've got about 120 kind of videos and other resources that you can look at, all to help you with your adult ADHD. So please do join us. And next week, we're going to be doing a kind of, I suppose, a summary of a lot of the best stuff that we've done over the last kind of 18 to 20 weeks in the ADHD Unlocked community, so that we can have a bit of a recap. So this is brilliant. And Stephen's just said that he dances like Chandler out of Friends, so he's very glad nobody's going to see this. Now, my problem is that I don't have Steph here when we agreed that we were going to dance at the end of today's session, and I'm on my own. So I'm going to have to own this, really, and kind of just really go for it if we are going to dance. The other thing is just a little top tip, which is nothing to do with exercise. If you are going to do a poll in the members group, so please do join the ADHD Unlocked community, large group. We've got over 600 members now. If you are going to do a poll asking which song you would prefer to put on at the end of the live lunch, make sure you turn off the feature that said people can add their own suggestions, such as Lawnmower Death and the Imperial March from Star Wars. Much as I love Star Wars, I really don't fancy kind of dancing around to that. So are you ready, guys? Come on, loosen yourselves up. Let's be silly. And this was the song that won the poll within the group. So hopefully you can hear it. And let's go. So apologies for the sound quality. Right, are we ready? It is Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine. So I'm going to finish now, but we'll just kind of do a bit of moving and then we'll fade out. But please dance like nobody's watching. And have a great weekend. And please tell me if you get caught dancing like nobody's watching and in what circumstances within the group, because that would be hilarious. Because I just can't wait till you write me or coming around. So don't stop moving. Go away this weekend and go walk on some sunshine. And I suggest that after this webinar is finished, that you go and put this on and do it properly, because I'm feeling a little bit inhibited, so try really go for it and really rock out. But let's go do it, everybody, and you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week within the community. So off you go and dance. See you later. Bye-bye.